everyone, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are excited to have you back for our Core 4 session on our ever-growing exclusive resource, Life in America series. And we are introducing today our latest in the series, Indigenous Life in America. My name is Catherine Bergerson. I am the Vice President of Marketing at NewsBank. Today I'll be joined by my colleague, Matt Stawicki. I want to let you know as we get started that the session is recorded, and we will send a copy of the presentation following today's event. Also, all of our contact information, the resources, the web URLs that we share are all available in our handout section. You can download those at any time. There's some icons on the left side of your screen, I believe. Just open that up and download the presentation anytime during the event today. To quickly share our agenda with you, we are going to give you an overview of this rich collection, what it includes, and what really makes the Life in America products unique. We'll show you how to search in order to pinpoint the most relevant information to your area of interest. And we'll share ideas on how to build visibility of the resource, including some ready-to-use ideas to really get it into the hands of your teachers and your students and assignments. We really want you to be able to connect what we share with you today right away. We do have time for some questions and answers. So if you think of something, again, look for those icons on the left side of your screen, open up the chat icon, type it in there anytime. We'll do our best to get to all of them. Quickly, some background on NewsBank. We are a leading news and information provider to research institutions, schools, and libraries for more than 50 years. We aggregate sources from all around the world, bringing you, your teachers, your students, and faculty credible, vetted, global news sources, many of which are unique to NewsBank, and all of which are available 24 hours a day from any device, whether you're using them in the classroom or remotely. So now we are going to take a walk through our resource and introduce you to our newest product, Indigenous Life in America. I'm going to turn it over to Matt Stawicki, who is our Vice President of Sales for K-12 schools and community colleges. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Catherine, and thank you so much for that great introduction. Yeah, as Catherine said, today we're going to key in on our Life in America series. This is what I would consider our third set of resources in our Core 4 set of tools that we make available to schools, not just here in the States, but internationally. This Life in America series is unique, as Catherine said. It is one of a kind, and to the best of my knowledge, nobody has anything that's even close to covering these areas of ethnic studies that we are getting into, okay? With that, what I'd like to do is let's jump in and start exploring and looking at these various resources. I will share my desktop, and hopefully you can see this. This is our landing page for Access World News. So from here, just so you know, our Life in America series is an add-on to either Access World News or our America's Historical Newspapers database, or you can buy the entire series, which right now consists of 4 different sources. We have Indigenous Life in America, we have Asian Life in America, we have Hispanic Life in America, and we have Black Life in America. So African American Studies, Hispanic American Studies, Asian American Studies, and of course, Indigenous. Okay. I'm going to click on Indigenous just so I can open this up for you so you can kind of get a view. All right. These databases range in sources literally from Black Life in America, which is the very first one that we created. That has over 20,500 sources from around the world. And then It goes to a low of indigenous life in America, which we just released this year in 2025. That has over 17,500 sources from around the world, and then the other two fall in between. And they actually continue to grow because we update these databases daily. Okay. The key to these four databases is really right here, indigenous life. This is the area of study we are honing in on in this resource. If I go to Black life, we're honing in on the African American area as it's been recorded in the news and media world. Asian in life in America, right? Hispanic life in America. But you'll note they all look the same, okay? We can keyword search these databases, okay? Or we can use what I call the pathway to discovery. So you'll note here a timeline that highlights every major era in history, but in this case, from an indigenous view, okay? And if I go to Asian life, we see the same thing. We've got a timeline that highlights all of those different areas, those eras in history, okay? You'll note that next to each era are a set of, we'll call it subcategories that highlight what were the big things in government that occurred during the Spanish arrival and the Texas annexation, right? And if we go to Zoot Suits, you'll note it opens up. We now get into arts and entertainment, notable people, religion, and so on. And they all work identically, right? So if I look here into the Indian Citizenship Act to Iwo Jima, I'm ranging from 1924 to 1945, right? And here, the Citizens Act, which granted voting rights to indigenous people, right? Here, I get a set of results. By clicking that, it runs a search and brings me to great information right away. My search is up here. I can modify this search if I wish, but the idea is let's get to good information right away. Now, if you're familiar with our Access World News or America's Historical Newspaper database, you'll note the filters down the sidebar. Okay, we automatically are defaulting to the best match, but we can go newest to oldest. You'll note that we've already got that filter for date loaded, but I've still got this slide bar, so I can further filter my data by date. I can put in my own set of dates here. Okay, we've got source type, so it's mainly newspapers that are being loaded here. But when we run different searches, we'll see different source types, which I'll show you at a later point in time. We can hone in on specific titles, right? Okay, and you'll note that we've got titles that are very, very local or indigenous in nature, okay? The Alaska Fisherman, for example, right? Or the Anchorage Daily Times, because we are in this world, okay? So we can hone in on specific titles by typing that in, okay? I clicked on a result right here. So here's a result from the Tomahawk from 1924. It's a full digital version. Now, one of the differences between this database and our other databases is we don't load the entire issue of the newspaper. We only load what is applicable, I should say, to this search, okay? We actually built this database a little bit differently. I'm just going to go back one, okay, to bring information in around these specific topics, okay? And not just here, but if I go to Black Life in America and the Great Migration, and I click on literature, okay, we're going to hone in on these specific people. So we built algorithms that are going to search our entire database, our entire vault when I say that, which means we're looking at data that goes as far back as 1690 all the way through to present. And we rerun these databases every single day. And we're only going to pull back information that is relative to the specific topic we're looking for, like Gone with the Wind, okay? So we're only pulling back that information. So it's a little different because we're not loading the entire issue of the newspaper. And all of these databases are the same. The big difference is we're honing in on areas that are very, very targeted at, in this case, Asian life in America. So labor and activism, right? And if I run this Asian Pacific American Labor Alliance, founded in Washington, that is going to bring me to just information around that. And note, I've got just 8 results. And when I click from the Watertown Daily Times out of New York, September of 1992, there's my search term highlighted, and I've got information just very, very targeted to this specific topic. Okay, I've got tools. We've got image editions, which is this. So tools for the user. Search for more information. Where did my information come from? September 5th, 1992, page 4. Create the citation. Export to EasyBib, RefWorks, or Noodle Tools. There's my citation tool. MLA 9. I can copy and paste this. I can email this to someone. I can clip out a piece of this article. So example might be, I want to clip out this caption. Okay, I can select the clip. I can highlight what I want to clip out. And then I can print it, download it, or save it to Google. I'll download it. I'll include my citation right away. And that will download it, create a nice clean PDF for me, which I can then include in the one-page essay that I have to turn in. So there's that article with the citation underneath. Okay. I can print the whole thing or a clip, download it to Google, save to an internal folder, copy link, which will always go to this page. And then we integrate with Google Classroom, Canvas, Schoology, so different LMS systems and discovery systems. And in this case, I can peruse these different pages that are loaded. But again, remember I said we don't load the entire thing. So you can see we have page 1, and then we jump to page 4. Okay, so we're not loading everything here, right? And then I can go back to my timeline entry or back to my suggested searches. Okay, we go from very historical on all of these databases to local. Okay, so here's labor information in Hispanic life in America, workers at U.S. factories along the border in Mexico's strike. I click that article to run, and now you'll note we've got current information. Okay, when I click on this one here, it's a full text article with tools for the user, increase text size, again, create that citation, the email function, the print function, the download function, save to my folder, the Doro link to this article, Google Classroom, and all full text articles have a read along that'll highlight and read right along with it. Okay. All of these databases work identically. Okay. The key is that it's honing in on this specific topic, these ethnic areas of study. I can keyword search these. So if I wanted to look for information around immigration, for example, okay, it will search this database for immigration and bring me back a big set of results where I now have my filters again to apply to further narrow down the information based on what I'm looking for. There are multiple languages available. There are presidential errors we can use to filter our data that way. So it works very, very much like all of our databases. Once you learn one, you learn them all. And they all work the same. Okay. Any questions I can answer around any one of these?
Wow, Matt, thank you. Yes, there is so much information, and once you start digging in, it's hard to stop. Wow, how fun! We do have some questions. Quick reminder: if you open up the chat icon on your screen, just type your question in there. We'll do our best to get to all of them. We do have a few questions here, Matt. One is there a way to filter by editorial or opinion articles?
Yes, there is. Okay, so you would use your search bar to do that. So if I'm searching out, we'll just say inauguration here. Okay, in this database, I have the option to hit search right away. Okay, and that will search out the database for me. Okay, but you'll note up here we've got the advanced search button, and on the home screen it's called more options. Okay, when I click that, that will open up additional search terms for me. So now what I get the chance to do is link this term with another term or another section in this case, and means it's going to link the two together, or means it's this or that, and then not means this but not whatever I put here. In this case, I want and. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll type in the term editorial, but I'm going to tell the database I want to pull from that section. So now when I search, I go from 146,000 plus almost 147,000 results down to 300. Okay, and you'll note here when I click here, all right, I'm now pulling from this section editorial. So it's a great way to narrow that information down. I hope that answers that question.
Thank you. Yes. How do I let NewsBank know if I want to add a topic I don't see on your timeline?
Oh, great question. Great question. I'm going to click over here to Black Life in America. So if there's something you're looking for and you don't find it in the timeline, and I'm going to use an example of that right here in literature and arts, okay? Fisk Jubilee Singers. So what you'll do is you'll send us an email, send that email to customer service, to your account executive, or even click the feedback button here and let us know what you're looking for, okay? What we're going to do from there is we'll probably reach back out to you to get a little more information around that term you're looking for, that topic, that person, whatever it might be. And then we're going to look into our database, our vault of information. Do we have the information to support that topic or person? Does it make sense for us to add it? And in every case I've ever seen it, the answer is yes. So if those two answers come back positive, we'll then add it. And an example of that is this Fisk Jubilee Singers. One of our school districts from Texas had this in their curriculum. They came to us and said, can you add that? We looked, we found we do have the information to support that. So we created this and we added it to the database.
Wow, fantastic. Great question. Thank you for asking that. Another question, how often is the information in the database updated?
Okay, so again, the algorithms are run every single day. So this database is literally updated every day. And we search the entire vault of information every day. So there may be terms that we modify, things that we change, which will pull back maybe some historical information, maybe information from a different source that wasn't in the database before. That's why, for example, in Black Life in America, we have over 20,500 sources. When this database started, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago, I'm not sure exactly, to be honest with you, but when this was first released, it only had about 17,000 sources in it, like Indigenous Life. So these databases will continue to grow as we update them every single day.
Great, thank you. And a question about languages. How many languages or what different languages are in the databases?
Oh, great question. So I'm just going to hit search here right now. And what that's going to do is load all of my data for me. And I'm going to go down here and I see I have over 15 million articles in this database already. But I'm going to go down to languages. And I see we've got 38 languages available in Indigenous Life. And wow, how cool is this? Cherokee. So I can click on that and apply. Okay, that just shows you, how we're going back. And this is from 1834, where we've got information in Cherokee from the Cherokee Phoenix publication. Okay, and what I have noted in many of these publications is, you'll note, here's English, but look at that right there. Okay, we've got information in Cherokee right there. So coolest
Truly
database ever.
fascinating. Oh, it is truly, truly fascinating. Thank you, Matt, and thank you to those of you with questions. We are going to move on in the interest of time. If you think of something after this, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. If we weren't able to get to your question, we will follow up with you in the very near future. Okay, so now that you know more about these fantastic resources, how to pinpoint that information, we want to help you get it into the hands of your teachers, your colleagues, your students. So we have our top 5 strategies to build awareness and engagement with the Life in America products. So number 1 is to host a hands-on training, very much like what we are doing right here, right now. NewsBank, Matt's team, offers complimentary training sessions for our customers. Also, if you're interested just in learning more, gather up a group from your team and we will customize a demonstration for your district needs or schools. And you will, as I mentioned, receive a copy of today's presentation. We encourage you to share that with others. We've also heard that they work very well for new staff onboarding sessions, for training days. So feel free to use this session or schedule a time with one of our representatives. Number 2, building your online web presence. So of course, the more places you can add links, the more likely it is that people will discover the resources. So perhaps you do a Did You Know section or featured resource of the month. You can take advantage of these resources. Perhaps you're doing a program around Black History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month. These are perfect opportunities to use primary source materials to study events or topics from the past and tie it to something happening in today, or perhaps there's an issue that's specific to your community. We have graphics for you, brief product descriptions to help you find the best places to add links to these resources on your website. And here you can see actually some examples from customers, how they incorporated their NewsBank resources into their sites. Number 3, learning management systems and discovery services. Matt mentioned that we do integrate with many of the big LMSs like Blackboard and Canvas. Want to let you know that we have web pages with PDF instructions, video instructions to help you, to teach you how to add articles to your assignments. So you can enhance assignments and programs. Perhaps you're reading or featuring a particular book or an art exhibit or an author for Hispanic Heritage Month. Pull out an article about the author or the artist and get some interesting facts or more background information to pair with your programming. Many teachers tell us that they use the articles to help provide some context and a more well-rounded real-world experience. So we encourage you to do that. Also, you could utilize articles from the Life in America series to help compare and contrast issues over time. So even create your own idea. You could look up a significant event in your school's history, perhaps a famous alumnus or something that's trending, an interesting article to share to remind teachers and students that they can find more articles like these and others in their NewsBank resources. Number 4, e-newsletters and social media. We have these, they're ready to use write-ups with graphics about each resource. They make a great addition to your e-newsletters. I call them newsletter nuggets. So just a little brief description of what it is with a graphic, and just to remind people, perhaps it's an internal staff email or communication or a social media post. You can see some examples here of how others are using the write-ups and graphics. Some people copy and paste what we have, or others edit to customize them for their school. So again, using something related to Indigenous Peoples Day or Black History Month to be timely and relevant and to help, just get some different type of content in your newsletters and social media. Finally, number 5, video views. Video is the #1 way to engage. We have brief overview and how to use videos for all of the Life in America products. Feel free to add them to your website, perhaps near the resource, if you have a YouTube page, or again on social media and a newsletter. You can see an example here from Macon Community College. They added a tutorial along with a description right onto their website to teach people how to use Black Life in America. So that's just one example. We certainly encourage you to use and share. I want to show you one more thing, our Marketing Resource Center. It's at newsbank.com, and the resources, our top 5 strategies that I just shared, they are all there along with even more. We have bookmarks you can print out, search tips. If you aren't the communications person for your school or district, I encourage you to consider sending this page to whomever puts together your newsletters, websites, or updates like that. They may find this information valuable. I certainly know as a marketing person, I love new ideas, particularly those that are ready to use or examples from others, so I can really see them in action. So please feel free again to share this information with your colleagues. Next steps, I want to let you know that we do host a series of sessions on our core 4 products. Today is just one. Again, we're focusing on Life in America and our new Indigenous Life in America product. We also have a session focused strictly on Access World News. We have a session for America's historical newspapers. Also, our beginning research tool, Research Rocket. So those dates and times are on our website. Please come back, join us for all of our sessions. We find and hear that they're valuable for new staff trainings, for people who want to brush up on their school's digital resources. So again, check out our website or contact us. We are happy to schedule a time for you or jump in on one of our scheduled sessions. And again, share it with your colleagues. The more, the merrier. Today's presentation is just one step in our commitment to working with you. Again, I'm going to plug it one more time. Open up that handout section, download the presentation now. It will make it so much easier when you're thinking, oh, what website did she say? How do I reach them? You don't have to go hunting and pecking through. All the links are right here in the presentation. So please download it now so you can refer back to it in the future. If you have any trouble, send us an email and we will be happy to get a copy over to you. We hope you found today's session valuable, that you have some actionable ways to reach out to your teachers and students right away. As you log out today, you will see a brief survey. Please take a moment, let us know what you thought about today's session and how we can improve in the future. On behalf of the NewsBank team, we appreciate your time. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Goodbye.